Today, our San Francisco Giants can win the World Series. We currently lead the Texas Rangers 2-1, and today we're going to play games 4 and 5 here in Texas. If we win them both, we're the world champions, but it's not going to be easy. The Rangers are going to be playing with their backs against the wall, especially after we won each of the last 2 games. Of course, we lost game 1 9-6, but we were able to bounce back. Game 2, really exciting one, ended up going 12 innings, but we were able to hang on and win. The Rangers got 2 runs in the 4th. We got 2 in the 7th, but this really was a pitching duel. Corbin Burnes got the start for the Rangers. He was fantastic. Kyle Harrison did his thing, and then our bullpen was absolutely terrific. 7 scoreless frames, and then we finished things off as Brendan Donovan drove in the game-winning run in the 12th inning to propel us to the win. Other than Yariel Rodriguez, our other relievers combined to allow 0 hits. That's pretty good. Game 3 was not as close. This one was utter domination. We won 7-1. We out-hit them 18-5. No shortage of base runners. Tommy Rogers had 4 hits. Kyler Rodriguez drove in 4 runs and homered twice. 5 scoreless for Fernando Molina, and then the bullpen did what they needed to do. And with our lead, we're able to get Scott Rios some innings while resting many of our key relievers like Jojo Romero and Felix Bautista. Alejandro Ordonez got the start. He was not great, but he wasn't horrible. He only allowed 2 runs. Bullpen came in, really fell apart. The pitching never really got going for the Rangers. I mean, we averaged 2 hits per inning, and we could have scored way more. We could have done a better job with runners on base and put ourselves in the double digits. But nonetheless, the offense has played 2 good games in the World Series. I feel like the offense did not hit the ball well towards the end of the NLCS against Atlanta, but we played well in Game 1, which we lost. We didn't play well in Game 2, which we won. And then Game 3, obviously, we really took care of business. The pitching, obviously, has been the strength for us throughout this postseason run. Today, we're going to have Sandy Alcantara on the mound in Game 4, and Mason Miller will get the start in a potentially elimination Game 5, depending on how we perform in this first matchup. We've already seen Sandy in the World Series. He pitched in Game 1, and even though the Rangers scored a lot of runs, it really wasn't his fault. That was more so the bullpen, who had, by far, their worst game of the postseason. So let's see what we've got here in Game 4. The Giants looking to take a 3-1 series lead over the Rangers. They're going to put this one into the right arm of the former Cy Young winner, Joe Ryan. And while this isn't necessarily a must-win for the Rangers, if they lose this game, they're in a lot of trouble. 3-1 comebacks are not easy. They are very rare. And if we're up 3-1, we're going to be in control. So hopefully we can win this game and put ourselves in position to potentially seal the deal in Game 5. And unlike all of our series against Atlanta, make this one a lot less stressful and a little bit easier. We've won 2 games in a row. We've got the momentum right now, and we're winning these games in different ways. 12-inning pitching duel in Game 2. An offensive bloodbath in Game 3. The pitching staff has played well 2 games in a row, and other than Game 1 of the World Series, the pitching staff has been pretty much fantastic through the entirety of the postseason. Of course, we know there's been a lot of ups and downs with Sandy Alcantara, but we believe in him. He's had a couple of strong performances in a row. As we take a look at both lineups and we take a look at Joe Ryan. He won the Cy Young for the Twins in 2025. Only his second postseason outing of the year. Went 6 2/3 in his first game. The ERA is high. He would have allowed, I guess that's probably 4 runs. But he did a good job of limiting base runners, and it looks like he just kind of slowed down late after a good start. Rogers gets this one to the warning track. It is caught in left by Stephen Kwan. That was a close call. Nearly a leadoff homer for Tommy Rogers, who leads the Giants in homers this postseason. Ian Happ on the ground with 2 away up the middle for a single. So San Francisco's got a runner aboard here with 2 away. We'll see if they're able to do some damage and get some scoring here in the first inning. Obviously, the middle of our lineup has been inconsistent this postseason, but Blake Sable's playing pretty well. He draws a walk, looking at the high fastball. And so now there's 2 on, 2 away. Big at bat for Stone Garrett, who's had a rough postseason, but he homered in both games 2 and 3. Oh, wow, that was a tough call. It looks like it might have been in the strike zone. As you can see on the bottom left, that's right on the edge. A tough decision to take that one when you're behind 1-2, but it is called a ball. Count is even 2-2. Garrett flies it into center. That's not going to have enough, as it should be caught by Ketel Marte, and it will. So Joe Ryan allows a couple of base runners, but the Giants are not able to score either of them. As we head into the bottom of the first and we take a look at Sandy Alcantara, who continues to shake off the postseason narrative. He hasn't been perfect throughout this postseason. Statistically, he's been worse than he was in the regular season, but he's had a few really strong outings in a row. We've used him a lot here in October. This will be his 5th postseason start. He started a game against the Dodgers, 2 against Atlanta, and now 2 against Kansas City. And I started him in Game 4 because if this series were to theoretically go to a Game 7, I would want him available for that matchup, whether it's as a starter or reliever. We're playing the long game here as Steven Kwan opens things up with a single into left. So an early base runner here for the Rangers. That'll bring up Geraldo Perdomo. That one gets by Murakami. Second hit for the Rangers. And Texas has 2 on with nobody out. What a great opportunity for them to set the tone here early in this game. 3-1 for Seager. Ooh, that's a close call. Looks like it hit the edge of the strike zone. I don't blame him not swinging, being ahead 3-1. But it does go for strike 2. The full count, this one's on the ground. It could be 3. Tags the first runner, gets the out at second, and Seager is barely safe at first. We were inches and seconds away from turning a triple play. I've done a lot of things on this game. A triple play has not been one of them. We were close. But nonetheless, turning 2 there is a big deal. Now we do walk Ketel Marte, and once again there's 2 runners on. But now there's 2 away. Rangers are going to need a base hit from Nathaniel Lowe, and they're not going to get it. Flies into right center. Leody Taveras will make the play. So an exciting first inning. No score, but both teams had opportunities. We had 2 runners on, couldn't come up big. The Rangers had 2 runners on twice, including a near triple play. But they were not able to drive anybody in either, and that'll move us into the second. Munetaka Murakami, arguably the best hitter in the National League during the regular season, singles into center field. Obviously, his postseason has not gone the way he has wanted to, but he has played better as the playoffs have gone along. That'll bring up Jose Ramirez, the veteran, still looking for World Series ring number 1. Count is full, and he draws a walk, looks at the outside fastball. 2 on once again, with nobody out. What a golden opportunity here to strike for Kyler Rodriguez. He homered twice in the Game 3 win against the Rangers, and he is looking for more! Kyler with a long blast into right. That one is long gone, and the San Francisco Giants lead it 3-0 here in the second. Kyler Rodriguez, talk about stepping up when the lights are the brightest. 3 home runs over the last 2 games. That one was a no-doubter over 400 feet. Exit velo above 107. A no-doubter off the bat as we look at that beauty again. Kyler Rodriguez might be making a run for World Series MVP. Now, obviously, we still have to win the World Series. It's far from over. But the way he's played over these last couple of games has been really fun to watch. We're not going to get anything here in this inning after the home run by K-Rod as Jung-Hoo Lee pops out to the catcher. But a really good frame. We get 2 more runners on base, and this time we capitalize with a 3-run piss missile by Kyler Rodriguez. As that'll bring us into the bottom of the 7th, and now the Rangers are going to have to respond. With 1 away, it's Adolis Garcia. He goes down on the fastball. That pitch was well inside, had him swinging out of his shoes. Nice pitch by Sandy, his first strikeout of the game. Ezekiel Duran now up for Texas. This one is lined into right, and it will go for a base hit. Garrett's not going to try to dive and make the highlight play. He could have caught it, but if that ball gets by him, Duran is probably on third base right now. So that'll bring up Jefferson Caro with a chopper to third. Murakami sends it to second, and San Francisco gets the force out to wrap up the second. Sandy Alcantara has allowed a handful of base runners so far, but the Rangers have not been able to do anything with them as it remains 3-0, and that will bring us into the third. The Giants are hitting the ball well so far. We've drawn a handful of walks. It's hard not to be pleased with the production we've got offensively. looking to keep it going as Ian Happ goes down looking on the low outside fastball. Nice pitch by Ryan, his first strikeout of the game. Blake Sabol lines this one into right center. It's got some carry at the track, at the wall. It is gone! A solo shot for Blake Sabol, just his second of the postseason. I'm surprised his number's that low. Nonetheless, the Giants add to the lead. It's now 4-0. Big swing for Sabol. We're really carrying the momentum we had offensively in the last game. We're continuing to hit the ball really well. As with 2 away, that brings up Munetaka Murakami. He hits this one well into left center. I don't think it has as much carry as it will be caught by Kwan. San Francisco adds another run, though, with the solo homer by the catcher Blake Sabol. 4-0 lead going into the bottom of the third, already giving ourselves some run support and some potential insurance for Sandy Alcantara if he needs it. Let's see what happens here. Texas has got to get something going at some point. They've got to be inching towards the panic button and realizing that there's got to be a sense of urgency. Geraldo Perdomo with 1 away draws a walk. That's a start. Just got to stack some base runners here. We'll see if the middle of the order can be a little bit more clutch than they were back in the first. Corey Seager nearly grounded into a triple play his last time up. This time he lines it into left for a hit. It splits between the shortstop and the third baseman. And now, again, the Rangers have 2 more runners on base. Even though the Rangers have a goose egg on the scoreboard, they're having no trouble getting guys on. Marte singles into right. They're going to send the runner. Perdomo, the throw from Garrett is a good one, but it's not in time. The Rangers are on the board as Perdomo is driven in off the RBI single by Ketel Marte. Still only 1 away. That'll bring you up Nathaniel Lowe. On the ground to first, Rodriguez tags the base, sends it to second, not in time. So the Giants are going to get the 1 out at first. Both runners advance, and now there's 2 guys in scoring position. But there's also 2 outs. Josh Yunya's got to get on base here. 3-2 on its way, and he's going to look at the 12-6 curve. That looked like it was going to be a strike for a while. It really wasn't a bad pitch, but a good take by Yunya. Bases loaded now for Adolis Garcia. He looks at the fastball. Count evens up at 2-2. This play right here is the Rangers' opportunity to get back into this game, and it doesn't look like they're going to do it. Lined well into right, caught by Garrett. The Rangers do score 1. It's not a total disaster of an inning, but they leave the bases loaded. I think we're at 6 runners left on base for the Rangers. That doesn't even account for the triple play back in the first, as Jose Ramirez singles into center to open up the fourth, 107 miles an hour. Both teams are really doing a good job of getting base runners here, as Kyler Rodriguez looking for another hit after his home run earlier. Into the gap, looks like it'll go for extras as he makes his way to second. Runners on second and third, nobody out. Joe Ryan really is not pitching well. I think we're at 6 or 7 hits by now, many of which are hard hit balls, extra base hits. And the Rangers are going to take him out of this game. Given that they're trailing by 3, and there's a good chance we're going to add to the lead here with 2 runners in scoring position and nobody out, Texas has to make a panic move. They've got to make a switch. Again, they're inching towards the panic button, given that they're down 2-1 and could be in danger of being down 3-1 if they don't come back. Owen White will come in to replace the starter, Joe Ryan. 1 postseason inning, that was earlier in the World Series, where he allowed 3 runs as he plunks the former Ranger, Leody Taveras, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. This is our kryptonite. Maybe we'll finally get past it. Nope. Tommy Rogers grounds this one. It does not go for a double play because he is so fast. The runner from third does score, and he would have scored even if Rogers was out at first. So now there's runners on the corners, 1 away. All hope is not lost yet. Jun-Hoo Lee pops it into left. That's not going to be enough room to potentially send home the sacrifice run, Rodriguez. So he's going to retreat back to third. 2 away now. Ian Happ has not done well at all with runners on base here in the postseason, and that continues. What on God's green earth was he swinging at? Cutter in the dirt goes for strike 3. We had the bases loaded with nobody out. We should have gotten more than 1. Nonetheless, up by 4, we've built a nice lead. The offense is playing a really good game. As we go bottom 4, Ezekiel Duran lines this one into center. Tavares chases after it at the track, at the wall, and he makes the play. That ball was hit well, but Tavares is able to track it down. 2 away here for Stephen Kwan. Swing and a miss on the low sinker. That was by far Sandy's best inning of the game. Even though he's only allowed 1 run, he has been a little shaky. He's allowed a lot of hits, a number of walks. It's good to see him get a 1-2-3 inning, and hopefully he can build upon that as he looks to get through a couple more innings today. That'll send us into the 5th. White remains in the game. He did a good job getting out of the jam in the last inning. He will walk Blake Sabol, who is 1 for 1 today with a homer and 2 walks. Very productive. That'll bring up Stone Garrett. He's behind 1-2. And he puts this one on the ground. Seager diving play to second, to first. No, he is safe. The throw offline at second base from Duran. So the Rangers are only going to get 1. That'll bring up Munetaka Murakami here with 1 away. This one's on the ground, and it should be 2 for good. Throw to first is on the mark this time. The Rangers get their double play after all, as it remains 5-1. Let's go bottom of the 5th now. Sandy Alcantara coming off his best inning, facing off against Geraldo Perdomo. This one is put on the ground, gets by the third baseman. Ramirez diving play. Throw to first, not in time. Good effort by J-Ram, but his throw is just a little bit too late. And Geraldo Perdomo is in with an infield single. That'll bring up Corey Seager now. I feel like overall he hasn't played that well for the Rangers here in the World Series, as it's a wild pitch. Runner goes for second. He is safe. So Perdomo's now in scoring position. This gives the Rangers more room to potentially drive him in. We'll see if Corey Seager is able to do so. 3-2 on its way with nobody out. And he goes down on the sinker. I think that would have been called ball 4. It would have been close. I understand protecting there with 2 strikes. But a great pitch by Sandy Alcantara to get the out. That'll bring you up. Ketel Marte hit high and deep and a right. Garrett at the wall. Cannot get there in time. It's a 2-run shot for Clutch Ketel. And the Rangers are back in it. It's now 5-3. For Ketel Marte, that's his 4th home run of the postseason. And that's going to do it for Sandy Alcantara. Did he shift the narrative in this game? I mean, not really. I wouldn't say Sandy was all that good. He allowed a lot of base runners, but he was able to keep runs off the board for the most part, and it certainly helps that our offense has been terrific so far. So he finishes his day going 4 1/3 innings, allowing 3 earned runs in what could be his last appearance of the year, and maybe his last appearance as a Giant ever. Yariel Rodriguez is going to come out of the bullpen. We're hoping for a couple innings out of him. 8 2/3 scoreless in the postseason. That's nearly a complete game shutouts worth of innings. He would only need 1 more out to technically complete that. And he's not going to get it. Nathaniel Lowe into left center. That one scrapes over the wall for a home run. The Rangers go back-to-back. 2-run shot by Ketel Marte. Solo homer by Nathaniel Lowe. We've got ourselves a ball game as it's now 5-4. The Rangers look dead in the water after the 3rd inning, trailing 5-1. But talk about a response, even with the pitching change. Doesn't matter. And they're only down by 1 run. 2 away now, 3-1 for Adolis Garcia. He draws a walk, and the Rangers get a runner aboard. We'll see if Yariel Rodriguez can get the Giants out of this inning, still holding the lead. Full count for Ezekiel Duran. He goes down looking on the fastball. No back-to-back walks for the Rangers, but a great inning. They're certainly going to take that. 2-run shot by Ketel Marte. Solo homer by Nathaniel Lowe. The back-to-back home runs make it 5-4. So Texas is firmly back in it. As we go into the 6th, Kyler Rodriguez goes down looking. Got to give Owen White a ton of credit. You can make the argument with his pitching and the big 5th inning on offense that the Rangers may have saved their season these last couple of frames. Leody Taveras flies it into left. It is caught by Kwan. 3 scoreless innings from Owen White. He has allowed 0 hits. Our offense has been blanked since Joe Ryan was taken out of the game. Bottom 6, Perdomo strikes out. Yariel Rodriguez retires to the side, and even though it is a 1-run game and the Rangers are still very much in it, they're going to have to see the back end of the pen. Romero, Bautista, and Duvall in some order, and we've seen that the Rangers can hit off of those guys, so it's certainly possible. The former Giant, A.J. Minter, is in the game. We had him in seasons 2 and 3. The Rangers haven't really used him at all here in the postseason. He's only thrown an inning and a third. He's let up 1 run in that stretch. 2-2 for Tommy Rogers. He goes down on the fastball. I liked the matchup with the lefty against Rogers, but he is unable to make the play there. It's been a quiet one for Tommy. He is 0 for 4. Ian Happ gets hit. Charge the mound. Charge the mound. We've got a couple guys who have gotten plunked in this game. And we're going to make a pinch hit decision. Patrick Bailey off the bench. 1-2. Swing and a miss. It was certainly an interesting choice to take out Blake Sabol, who's played really well today with a homer and 2 walks. But I wanted to take advantage of the lefty being in the game. Obviously, Bailey is a lot better against lefties, as it will be JoJo Romero out of the pen here in the bottom of the 7th. Don't let the ERA fool you. He has been pretty much unhittable in the postseason. But in Game 1 of the World Series, the Rangers performed pretty well off of him. He's looking for a better showing here as he gets Corey Seager to go down on the fastball. That's a good start. His first K of the day. The next 2 batters, Marte and Lowe, both homered their last times up as Marte goes down looking on the high slider. Romero looks to strike out the side. His K rate in the postseason sits at around 40%. 3-2 on its way for Nathaniel Lowe. And he's not going to strike out, but he will pop this one into left. A pretty easy inning for JoJo Romero. Barely gets to like 10 pitches as he retires this side. Still 5-4 as we move into the 8th. Another pitching switch here for the Rangers. Their bullpen still has yet to allow a hit. It's been 4 innings now. Our offense, who was playing so well early in this game, has gone ice cold. It'll be Framber Valdez. He pitched a lot in Game 2 for the Rangers, and he did a really good job making it so that we couldn't win the game until the 12th inning, and at that point, he was already out. As Stone Garrett swings and misses at the sinker. It's been a quiet game for Stone. He is 0 for 4 after back-to-back games with homers. Lefty on lefty for Munetaka Murakami. He draws a walk. Good at bat. And the Giants have a runner on first. Even though I trust Bautista and Duvall to finish off the job, not allowing any runs, we would obviously love to add some insurance. You never know in the World Series against a great team like this, as Jose Ramirez gets hit. Even though these bullpen guys for the Rangers are not allowing hits, they are hitting our batters, and I guess it's working. With 1 away, Rodriguez puts it on the ground, and it'll go for an inning-ending double play. Good job by Framber Valdez to get the Rangers out of the inning. That was a shaky spot they were in. They let up 2 runners as we go bottom 8. Felix Bautista out of the bullpen here for the Giants. 1.64 ERA in 11 postseason innings. Those 2 runs both scored in Game 1 of the World Series by the Rangers. Josh Young opens up the inning with a single into left. Tying run is on base with nobody out for the bottom portion of the Rangers order. We'll start with Adolis Garcia. Walked in his last at-bat, and he goes down on the slider. Big pitch by Bautista, looking to shove these batters into lockers as he's done throughout the entire month of October. Duran checked his swing, and he went around. Risky pitch because the count was full. That should have been ball 4 if, they didn't have Stevie Wonder at the plate. That'll bring up Jefferson Caro with 2 away. Flies it into right. Garrett chases after it at the warning track, makes the play. So Bautista allows the leadoff hit, but no further damage done. 5-4 going into the 9th. As long as the Rangers don't outscore us in this inning, we will have a 3-1 series lead in the World Series. TJ Antoine out of the pen for the Rangers. He's been busy for them here in the month of October. His 11th postseason appearance. J.P. Crawford comes in off the bench. Just 1 hit here in the World Series. His homer back in Game 1 as he draws a walk. And the Giants start the inning with a runner on for the top of the order. It's been a quiet game for Tommy Rogers. He lines it right to Seager. Double play. That ball went 117 miles an hour off the bat. Probably the hardest hit ball all day, but Seager was at the right place at the right time, made a good play. As Lee lines out to left, it is caught by Kwan. And that'll bring us into the bottom of the 9th. The Giants went 6 hitless innings against the Rangers bullpen, but we played so well early in this game it might still be enough to finish the job. Top of the order, Kwan, Perdomo, and Seager due up for Camilo Doval, whose month of October started a little bit shaky. He's pitched a little better since. He's been performing quite well over his last couple of games as he is in for the save. We'll start with Stephen Kwan. Grounded to first. Why is Brendan Donovan there? Flips it to Doval for out number 1. I put Donovan in as a defensive substitution, but he should be at short. So I made the switch after that play. As Geraldo Perdomo lines it into left, it'll go for a hit. Again, we could have gone for the diving catch, but since he's the tying run, I don't want him to get any farther on base than he could be. If Kyler Rodriguez misplays that, that's at least a double, maybe a triple. Seager flies it into right center. Jung-Hoo Lee is under it. He's moved over to center field as he's there for the second out of the inning. And the Rangers are down to their final out here of Game 4. The cleanup hitter, Ketel Marte. 2-run homer back in the 5th. You know, a 2-run homer here would end the game. It would be a walk-off. The count is 1-1. Tying run at first base. Swing and a miss on the inside slider. What a pitch by Camilo Doval. Marte 3 for 8 against Doval all time. These guys familiar with each other. Teammates in the Guardians franchise and MLB The Show 22. The 1-2. That one is in the dirt. Runner goes. Bailey's throw is in time! And that's going to do it! The San Francisco Giants win it by throwing out the runner who was trying to steal second base. An unconventional way to end the game, but hey, that works. The Giants lead the series 3-1, and later today, in just a few minutes in Game 5, we will be playing for a World Series title. How cool is that? What a strange ending to the game, though. I don't blame Perdomo for trying to make it over to second base. Any way he can get closer is a big deal, being that he was the tying runner. It was a tale of two for our offense today. We played really well the first few innings. 6 hits off of Joe Ryan. We went deep twice with homers by Rodriguez and Sabol. But we did not get a hit after Ryan was taken out early in the 4th. And guess what? It didn't matter. Sandy Alcantara was not great, but he did enough for us to win the game. The bullpen did a really good job. The back end, per usual, Romero, Bautista, and Doval slammed the door. 3 combined scoreless innings. The story, though, again, was the Rangers pitching. Joe Ryan, 3 innings, 6 hits allowed, 5 earned runs. The other 4 relievers, 6 innings, 0 hits. That's pretty incredible. We had 18 hits in Game 3. Our offense was on a roll. And then we just went completely blank. We certainly need the offense to not have a stretch like that in Game 5, or else we're probably not going to win the World Series today. Mason Miller's on the bump against the ace for the Rangers, Chris Paddock. He pitched in Game 1 of the World Series for Texas. Mixed bag, but obviously the Rangers ended up coming back and winning that game. Their only win so far of the World Series, and we'll see if our offense is able to perform. I feel like our hitting has been really inconsistent this postseason. We have some really good stretches, such as Game 3 against the Rangers, where we had 18 hits. And then we have other stretches that often go into multiple games where we forget how to hit. Against Atlanta, we had a no-hitter going into the 7th inning. We had another game, I think also against Atlanta, where a no-hitter went into the 5th inning. Obviously, in Game 4, we did not get a base hit in the final 6 innings of the game. So it seems like our guys all kind of do well in spurts, and when a few of the guys are not playing well, it kind of is like a sickness that spreads over to everybody. But on the inverse, when everybody's hitting the ball well, it seems like that's contagious. Let's take a look at both lineups 1 to 9, and we take a look at Chris Paddock, who will be tasked with saving the season for the Rangers. They have to win this game, or else the dream is over. He's pitched in 4 postseason games. Kind of the anti-Kyle Harrison. His numbers are not good, but he's getting wins. It looks like he's getting a lot of run support. We certainly saw that to be the case in Game 1 of the World Series. Rogers up the middle, base hit. Okay, that's a good start. Our first hit since early in the 4th inning of the last game. Rogers went hitless in Game 4 of the World Series. He's one of the front runners for World Series MVP, but that game certainly hurt his chances. Jung-Hoo Lee singles into right. Look at this. Rogers goes for third, and he's out. Wow, what a throw by Adolis Garcia, and a phenomenal job at third base by Josh Jung. He knew he had to apply the tag immediately, and he does. Stone Garrett with 2 away strikes out, and Chris Paddack gets out of the jam. That inning did not start off well for him, allowing the 2 early hits, but Adolis Garcia throwing out the runner gave the Rangers some momentum that they were able to build upon. As we go into the bottom of the first, we're going to take a look at Mason Miller. I thought about starting Kyle Harrison in this game, but I figured regardless if we pitch Harrison in Game 5 or a theoretical Game 6, he wouldn't be available for Game 7 anyway, so why not wait, get his energy up, and if we need a Game 6, he'll be ready to go. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, though. Mason Miller's only pitched in 1 postseason game so far this year. It did not go well. We're hoping round 2 is a little bit better, as he gets Stephen Kwan to go down looking on the cutter to get things started. Corey Seager is now up with 2 away. Seager's been the Rangers' best hitter in the postseason, but we're still waiting for that big play out of him here in the World Series, and it's not going to come here. Swinging a miss on the cutter. Mason Miller retires the side here in the first of an elimination Game 5, where the San Francisco Giants have an opportunity to win their first World Series title in 14 years. To start the second, Munetaka Murakami chases the high heat, goes down on the fastball for the first out of the frame, second K of the day for Paddack. Ian Happ hitting lower in the lineup. He's been moved down from 3 to 6. He goes down looking on the fastball. In real time, that did not look like a strike, but they're going to give it to him anyway. Jose Ramirez has an opportunity to win his first career World Series tonight. That's pretty dope. But what's not dope is him grounding out to first base. Paddack, after allowing the first 2 hits, has now retired 5 batters in a row. Bottom of the second, Ketel Marte will lead things off for the Rangers. He played well in the Game 4 loss, including his 2-run homer, but he swings out of his shoes on the fastball. I know it's early, but Mason Miller's pitching really well. Coming into this game, I wasn't really sure if we were going to get more than 2 or 3 innings out of him, but he looks awesome right now. Josh Jung gets a hold of this one and sends it to left. Perhaps I spoke a little bit too soon. The Rangers on the board first here in Game 5. They lead it 1-0. Solo shot for Josh Jung, his second of the postseason. That one a no-doubter, clocking in at 431 feet with an exit velo just shy of 107. That'll bring up Adolis Garcia. Had the big defensive play back in the first, but has had a rough go at it offensively here in the World Series, and he goes down on the fastball. Rangers score, though, with the homer by Jung, as it's 1-0 into the third. Chris Paddack is on a heater right now with 2 away. Rogers flies it into center, hits it pretty well, but it is caught by Marte. That's 8 consecutive batters retired by Paddack. After the start of that first inning, I had hoped that our offense had turned a corner, but that's not the case. If you remove the hits by Rogers and Lee in the first inning, over the last 9 innings, we have no hits. That's a full game. The offense has got to get it together if they want to win a championship tonight. Ezekiel Duran goes down on the slider. Jefferson Caro now. Count is even at 2-2. Hasn't done much since the homer back in Game 1. Checks his swing. Looks like the pitch was in the strike zone anyway. It'll be called strike 3. Miller is at 6 strikeouts already through his first trip down the order. The Rangers are not touching him right now. Another one. It's Kwan who goes down on the slider. Mason Miller's faced off against 10 batters. 7 of them have struck out. Yet we're still losing because of the homer by Jung. But otherwise, Miller has been fantastic. Stone Garrett strikes out, and Paddack makes it through the fourth. The Rangers called on Chris Paddack to save the season, and right now he's doing that. In a game where they're not hitting the ball well and the offense has not shown up, Chris Paddack is carrying Texas with Josh Jung, to be fair. But everybody else has been abysmal. Corey Seager goes down on the high cutter, 2 away for Ketel Marte. He lines it to third. Jose Ramirez makes the play. Throw to first is in time. A total pitching duel. Just 3 hits in this game. We still don't have anything since the first, and the Rangers' only base runner all day is the homer by Jung. Into the fifth now, still 1-0. Very fast-paced game. Murakami to second. What a play by Duran. Throw to first is in time, and the Rangers make the play. That'll bring up Ian Happ. Count is full with one away, and he will draw a walk. We haven't been able to draw walks either. This is quite literally our first base runner since the first inning. That'll bring up Kyler Rodriguez. He lines this one in the left. There we go. A base hit. We're going to hold both of the runners where they are. And so now it's first and second. This is our chance to get back in the game. One big swing puts us in control. And it's J.P. Crawford, a guy who's given us a lot of big swings over the years. And this is not one of them. He gets a 91-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball right over the heart of the plate and does that. That was not a good pitch by Chris Paddock. But J.P. Crawford blew it. We leave two aboard and we go into the bottom of the fifth. Nathaniel Lowe homered in the last game. Count is full, draws a walk, and the Rangers get their first base runner since the homer by Young. And since Young was technically never on base, since it was a home run, this is literally the first time in the whole game that the Rangers have actually had somebody on base. Speak of the devil, it is Josh Young. Liner to first, off of Murakami's glove! And that one's going to roll all the way past the dugout near the VIP section. And just like that, there's two runners on, nobody out. That will be ruled as a hit for Josh Young. It nearly was a double play if Murakami was able to catch it. But now there's two on, nobody out, and a great chance for the Rangers to do some damage. Adolis Garcia sends it into right, into foul territory. Garrett is able to make the play. Runner will tag up for third. Not a bad throw, but it's a little bit off the line, and the Rangers now have runners on the corner. Gotta put this ball on the ground. A double play would end the inning. Huge at bat for Ezekiel Duran. Had a 3-run homer, if you remember, back in game one. As he flies it into right, hits it well, and that should be enough room for the runner to tag up and score. Garrett's throw to the plate, again, pretty good, but a little bit offline. And the run scores off the sacrifice by Ezekiel Duran. And the Rangers now lead it 2-0. Certainly won't complain with that result as the inning keeps going for Texas, and that'll bring up Jefferson Caro. 2-2, gets that one by the diving glove of Crawford. 115 off the bat. Mason Miller was pretty much unhittable through 4 innings, but now the Rangers are really hitting for solid contact off of him, and we're going to take him out of this game. Overall, a good showing by Mason Miller, but it got away from him a little bit here at the end. It's not necessarily his fault we're losing, though. He's gotten no run support. And we're going to bring in the lefty Genesis Cabrera, given that fellow lefty, Stephen Kwan, is up at the plate. He's behind in the count 1-2. 2 on, 2 out, 2-0. This one is lined into left, and Jung-Hoo Lee misplays it. He wanted to be aggressive to try to have a chance to throw out the second runner. We'll still get a chance anyway, but it's not in time. Very close call with a good throw by Crawford, but it's a 2-run double for Stephen Kwan, and the Rangers lead at 4-0 with both of those earned runs going against Mason Miller. Jung-Hoo Lee's aggressiveness in the outfield backfires. Had he been a little bit more conservative and made a better angle on the ball, we either would have gotten the out, I think, or the runner would have stayed at third. Geraldo Perdomo now down the line. Fair ball. Kwan rounds third. Heads home, and it's 5-0. Geraldo Perdomo's average against lefties this postseason is unbelievable. I think it might literally be 900 now. That's not an exaggeration. He's at least 8 for 9, maybe 9 for 10 against lefties. It's ridiculous. Seager grounds it to short. Crawford makes the play. Huge inning, though, for the Rangers. They score 4. And Texas now appears to be in the driver's seat here in Game 5. Top of the order looking to give us a spark here in the 6th. Rogers, liner into center. Marte does not make the play. This one's going to slowly roll to the wall. If you're Tommy Rogers, you're thinking inside the Parker. He's going to have to hold up at third. I was hoping to get him all the way around, but we're not going to do anything stupid. We need base runners down by 5. It's a leadoff triple for Tommy Rogers, so he's 90 feet away from home with nobody out. There's no excuse not to score him. We've got to bring him home and try to take a cut into this lead and ideally bring home a few more. One away. Sable pops it up in foul territory. There's a chance that we're not going to be able to score him. Now we're going to need a base hit. And it's Stone Garrett, a guy who has not consistently hit the ball well, but he does hit it fairly well to right. It will be caught, though. Tommy Rogers was 90 feet away from home with nobody out for the 2, 3, 4 hitters up. That should basically be an automatic run for us. But we don't score him. 5-0, bottom 6, and Yel de los Santos comes out of the bullpen. He's pitched a little bit here in the World Series since coming back from his groin injury, and he's played pretty well. 1 2/3 scoreless frames for the veteran, reliable righty. He'll face off against Nathaniel Lowe. 1 away, full count. Swing and a miss on the slider. That one curved inside late. I think it would have been ball 4. To be fair, I probably would have swung at that as well. That was a really good pitch. 2 away, Young. Chopper to third. Ramirez dives on it. Throw to first in time. 1-2-3. De Los Santos retires. The side, it remains 5-0. The Rangers, meanwhile, will make a pitching change going into the 7th. What a performance from Chris Paddock. 6 scoreless to save the season for the Rangers. The veteran righty River Ryan is into the game. 3.38 ERA. They've used his services a lot here in the postseason. He's thrown 8 innings and has allowed 3 runs in that stretch. We've just got to stack some base runners here. Let's try to make it a game. Get 2 or 3 runs in this inning. We don't need guys up there trying to do too much. Munetaka Murakami strikes out, though, to start the frame. 1 gone now for Ian Happ. And he gets hit again. It's like Ian Happ is a magnet. I swear he gets hit like every other game. He got hit in game 4, and now he does again here. Jose Ramirez draws a walk. This is exactly what we need. Base runners. We don't even have to hit the ball to get these guys on base. 2 on, 1 away. Kyler Rodriguez puts it on the ground. Dear God. Double play. That'll end the inning. Here in Game 5, Kyler Rodriguez is speed running the How to Lose the World Series MVP challenge, much like Tommy Rogers did in the last game. We're going to keep Yel de los Santos in here. I want to keep him fresh since he hasn't pitched a lot here in October. As Caro singles into left. The fact that that bounced off the wall was probably a good thing for us. I think he would have gotten a double otherwise. So we're going to take him out. He faces off against 6 batters, retires 5 of them, and he'll be replaced by the veteran right-hander John Schreiber. He's had a good postseason, 6 2/3 innings of 1-run ball. He'll face off against Stephen Kwan. Drove in a pair his last time up, but he goes down on the slider. Giants keep the 7th scoreless. Still got a lot of work to do. Trailing this game 5-0 as we go to the 8th. The Rangers now turn it into their back-end guys, as we will start with Cole Winn, looking to help the Rangers seal the win. I'm sorry, that was not good. He's allowed 2 runs in 3 postseason innings, most of which have been here in the World Series against the Giants, as we bring in Brendan Donovan off the bench, looking for a spark, and he hits it well. Nearly 100 off the bat, but Duran is at the right place at the right time, makes a nice play for the first out of the inning. 2 away now for Jung-Hoo Lee, looking to help the Giants avoid the shutout, and that's not going to do it. Swings at the 12-6 curveball in the dirt. Lee's average has gone all the way down to around 450. He really hasn't played all that well over the last couple of games, but that speaks to how dominant he was through the rest of the postseason. And even if he does struggle the rest of the way, he's the no-brainer postseason MVP, regardless if we win the World Series or not. Perdomo to first. Murakami does flip it to Schreiber in time. That was a close call, but we will get the first out of the frame. Corey Seager now 0 for 3. Lines this one into center. Rogers chases after it. Cannot make the play. It bounces off the wall. Seager waltzes into second with a double. And the Rangers have a runner in scoring position as they look to add to this lead. No lead is safe in the MLB postseason, and they certainly know that, so they want to manage this as wisely as they can. Runner at third, 2 away. Nathaniel Lowe lines it to center. Rogers is not going to have to move too far. I think my grandmother could have made that play. But nonetheless, we're going to get out of the frame. We've got a lot of work to do here in the 9th, down by 5. The 3-4-5 hitters are up. Cole Winn will stay in the game. Blake Sable, what on God's green earth are you swinging at? When I was talking about guys not doing too much, that's quite literally exactly what I meant. Stone Garrett with 1 away. Hits it pretty well to short. Seager fields it cleanly. Throw to first is in time for out number 2. And the game will come down to the number 5 hitter, that being Munetaka Murakami. He's 0 for 3 today. He does have a full count here. Pitch on the way from Cole Winn. And this one is lined to third, caught by Young. The Rangers keep their season alive. We will not crown a champion in today's episode, unfortunately, as the Rangers win this game 5-0, and they will make the World Series gap a little bit closer as it's now a 3-2 series lead. Props to Texas here with their backs against the wall. The pitching was brilliant. Chris Paddock was absolutely fantastic. 6 shutout innings. Our offense just did not play well. We are on a drought at the plate. We have been horrible over the last 15 innings offensively, which is crazy because the 15 innings before that, we've been unstoppable. But as again, the inconsistencies with this team at the plate continue to be a problem throughout the postseason. Mason Miller gets the loss. It got away from him in the 5th, but overall, throughout the game, he did pitch well, and I don't think he's really to blame here. The Rangers' offense really wasn't all that spectacular. They did score 5 runs, which usually is enough to win, but they didn't consistently stack base runners. They really had the one big inning in the 5th where they got 4. Otherwise, they didn't do much, certainly relying on their pitching. So that's going to wrap up the episode. Next time around, Game 6. This will be premiering on the channel on probably either Wednesday or Thursday. And then if we lose this game, we're going to premiere Game 7, likely the upcoming weekend. Corbin Burnes on the bump against Kyle Harrison. The Giants look to win their first title in nearly 15 years. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.